all just be adults and acknowledge that Tatum hasn't exactly been great in these Olympics, and he wasn't exactly his best self in the playoffs either. I'm not saying he was terrible in the playoffs. I think he's largely been kind of terrible in the Olympics when he's been out there.
Wasn't great in the finals, that's for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, is there any reason to start to – and it probably sounds ridiculous. He just won an NBA championship. He won a second gold medal. So it probably sounds ridiculous to say. But it's been a while since we've seen Jayson Tatum at his best. Is there any reason whatsoever, and maybe it's just an obvious no, Jones, don't even try, you're an idiot. Is there any reason whatsoever to say, is there something off with Tatum? Because he wasn't himself in the playoffs, and he's kind of stunk in the Olympics to the point where even when he was out there and Kerr let him play, he wasn't good.
I don't read into the Olympics too much, and I think, he wasn't incredible in the finals, and Jaylen Brown outplayed him in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, but he wasn't, who he was in the 2022 finals, which was a real problem for the Celtics. I think I still hope that he is going to have his best season this coming season, mostly because I think he's going to be looser. That was the disappointing thing for me about the Olympics, is I thought maybe the Kerr situation got into his head a little bit. Maybe he felt, overwhelmed by playing with Curry, Durant, and LeBron James, and it being very much their team. And Tatum's kind of like this lower classman guy. Speaking of underclassmen, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And so that was messing with him. Tatum plays his best basketball when he's playing loose and he feels comfortable and he's having fun. And I don't think that's who he was in the Olympics. And it certainly wasn't who he was as you get closer and closer to a championship. So I'm hoping that he just gets over that once the regular season starts.
Yeah, and I would just say between him and Tyrese Halliburton, I feel like Halliburton's handled it much better. Halliburton's joking about it on social media.
I think Halliburton feels like he has less at stake.
Yeah, maybe.
Halliburton wasn't first-team All-NBA. Fine. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons.
It could be all that, and maybe there are reasons for it. I just think Halliburton's handling it better, while Tatum's parents are both popping off on Twitter about how much of a travesty it is. Even though Tatum's not saying anything, this is like Brady-esque. It's all right, well, Brady's not saying anything, but what's his dad saying again? Because that's probably how he really feels. That's how I feel a little bit about Tatum's parents the last few days on social media. Any reason for concern about Tatum, Arkin?
The only thing that I keep seeing is, this is great because now he's going to be so focused and so motivated, and he's going to want to stick it up everyone's back. And it's okay, I get that on some level, but when he had a chance to do that, in the Olympics, he went out there and got 4 points in 12 minutes or whatever it is. He didn't necessarily rise to that occasion in real time, so I'm just surprised why everybody thinks, not you, Mego, but everybody else I'm seeing on Twitter and callers and things like that are like, oh, yeah, you just watch. He's going to be so motivated now. He's going to go out there and rip everybody apart. It's he could have done that in the Olympics.
Right.
Why didn't he do it there? He didn't really have that in him. Now, he may be tired. He may be banged up a little bit. Maybe it's just simple as that, and he'll start next season refreshed and ready to go. But last time he played in the Olympics, that was 2022. It wasn't the Olympics, but in the FIBA championship. And then in 2022, at the end of that season, he was completely wiped, and we remember how those finals went. So I don't necessarily know if it's a great thing. I don't think that he's going to have a bad season, but yeah, there's some concern there for sure.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. He's kind of been embarrassed on a national level, so he could use it as motivation. That is possible, but that's not the only option. It could also get to him a little bit, and let's see how he handles it next season. And if we're all adults, and we all want to sit here and acknowledge this for a moment, it's been a long time since we've seen Tatum at his best. That's how I would put it. He didn't suck in the playoffs. Maybe I've said that once or twice. That's for effect. He didn't suck in the playoffs. But it's been a long time since we've seen the first-team All-NBA taking over games Jayson Tatum. It's been since March since we've seen that. So that's all. I just think that's fair to point out.